You know, I was planning on rope dropping it today and I never set an alarm. So, good afternoon everyone from TTC. I asked my friends, I asked my family, and I even asked a few random strangers on the internet. Which, by the way, if you would like to follow my social links, my Twitter, my Instagram, whatever, they're all down in the description below. Today's gonna be a very simple video. I'm gonna take you around Magic Kingdom. We're gonna play 20 questions. We're gonna get to know the vlogger in which you're watching just a little bit better. Which, by the way, guys, how do you feel about the new sunglasses? I got the black on the sides, I got the blue frames, and I got the purple lenses. Kind of feels like the first question I received is possibly the most exciting on my entire list, I'd say sarcastically. First question is, how old are you? 24. The next question's a little bit better. It was, how old are you when you first started going to the parks? Once a year during winter break, my grandparents, as a big blowout for the end of the year, would take my cousin, who is my same age, and I to either Walt Disney World or Universal, because we were Disney kids. And we would stay in one of the resorts and we would park cop and we would just kind of do it up. That was from the ages of 3 to probably about 16, 17. So the answer to that one is ultimately about 3 years old. What originally sparked my interest in wanting to come to Disney? Well, when I was 3, who wouldn't want to meet Mickey, you know? Dream come true. But that's not the answer to the question you were really asking now, is it? The actual question is, what sparked my interest in coming to Disney as an adult? I was finally working, I was finally making my own money, and I was feeling a bit nostalgic and decided to splurge and get my first annual pass. I thought maybe if I use it once a month, you know, it'll be worth the money. Then I realized how much I missed it and how much fun it ultimately is. And once a month turned into once a week. How long have you lived in Orlando? I never have. I live in Tampa. It's about an hour to an hour and a half's drive away from Orlando, depending on traffic. What made me want to start a vlog? Well, when you're driving an hour and a half out of your way once a week to come to the parks, Disney, Universal, whatever, it doesn't really matter. You start to turn a few heads. So constantly, whether it was my friends or my family or my coworkers or whatever, they would ask, what do you do out there all the time? It can't be that cool. And I knew very well that it kind of was. So I decided to pick up a camera and show them how cool it was. What are the highs and lows of vlogging? Pros and cons, if you will. Well, my favorite things are seeing everything that's new around Disney and Universal, two places that I really, really love. I like having a creative outlet because, believe it or not, my life can be a little bit stressful sometimes, as will anyone's. Seven Doors Mine Train is going off behind me. Can't say that every day, can you? The biggest con? Probably the editing process. Now, I'd love to clear the air here. I don't hate editing. It's just not as fun as the other side of it, which is going to a theme park and trying to set up cool shots and doing fun things. How long does it take me to edit? a typical edit can range anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, and I have become a bit of a perfectionist. And it's just getting worse as I keep going. Am I more of a cat person or a dog person? I'm definitely more of a dog person. What is my favorite Disney character of all time? Donald Duck. Of course, right? Like, number one. You tell that mouse that. Universal or Disney, which do I like better? That is a surprisingly difficult question to answer because I like certain Universal parks more than I like certain Disney parks, and I like certain Disney parks more than I like other Universal parks. So, I'm going to combine it with my next question of what are my favorite rides by ranking the 4 Walt Disney World parks and 2 Universal parks by order of least favorite to favorite, and I'll mention my favorite ride in each park. And the last but not least spot, I have Disney's Animal Kingdom. My favorite ride there is Flight of Passage. I then head over to the Universal Orlando Resort where I put Islands of Adventure. My favorite ride there is Spider-Man. Keep in mind, I still have yet to ride Hagrid, so it might change.
Progress City, Walt Disney's dream for an experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Progress City was the inspiration for Epcot, and many of its forward-thinking ideas have been realized throughout Walt Disney.
I then put Epcot. My favorite ride there is Test Track. Up next, I put where I currently am, Magic Kingdom. My favorite ride in this park is actually the Haunted Mansion. I then put Universal Orlando. My favorite ride in that park is, I think it's pretty obvious, Men in Black. And my favorite park in Orlando is honestly a lot of people's least favorite park. I absolutely, unabashedly love Disney's Hollywood Studios. And my favorite ride there, pains me to say it as much as I love Tower of Terror, has now been dethroned. It's now Rise of the Resistance. I cannot stress how good that freaking ride is. Which actually serves as a nice segue to my next question. Is it really necessary to get up at 3:30 in the morning to try to get on Rise of the Resistance? My answer to that is yes. The popularity of this ride is intense. There's just no getting around it. The boarding passes are handed out the minute you get inside the park, obviously as soon as the park opens. The park has been opening up at 6, and I've seen reports that all of the boarding passes, all of the rides for the day were handed out within 2 to 3 minutes. It is absolutely crucial that you are one of the first people in that park if you want to get on that ride at all. What is my favorite show in all of Walt Disney World? A special place in my heart goes out to Carousel of Progress. So they have the tester ride vehicles for Tron Light Cycle Power Run, which they're building just right back there. Why don't I do more construction updates? Mostly because I have no idea what the heck I'm talking about. Until the track starts showing up, I have a very difficult time trying to find a piece of dirt and make it exciting. Now that the track is being laid in for Tron, I'm very excited. But when they were just clearing land, I couldn't care less. If Walt Disney World made a 5th gate, what would I want it to be? The fact that there is not an entire park dedicated to iconic Disney villains, I just find wrong. You can make it like an anti-Magic Kingdom. We could have like a Maleficent castle. Like, it would be so cool. It would be like not so scary all the time, but without the candy. I would do it. That'd be awesome. What is my favorite Disney secret? My favorite Disney secret is one that I like to ever so affectionately and maturely call the River of Crap. For some strange, hilarious reason, when building Liberty Square for the Magic Kingdom, the Imagineers wanted to include something that represented the lack of bathrooms during colonial America. So yes, this here brown concrete does represent exactly what you think it represents. It does in fact represent colonial waste dripping its way down to the streets, which is hands down the weirdest thing I've ever heard being included into a theme park, and I love it so much. This one is actually probably the hardest question that I had to answer on the entire list. If I had to switch 2 theme park attractions between parks, what would they be? My friend on Twitter that asked this, his example was Expedition Everest in the Magic Kingdom and Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse in the Animal Kingdom. This took me a while, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for the challenge. It really took me a while. I had to think about it for a couple of days. But ultimately I've landed on swapping Mickey's PhilharMagic in the Magic Kingdom with Muppet Vision in Hollywood Studios. My reason for this being, we just lost the great Muppets of history, which breaks my heart because I think the world deserves more Muppets in it. So does Magic Kingdom. I'm okay with Kermit the Frog entering Fantasyland. Twitter would hate it though. I also think that there's an argument to be made that Sorcerer Mickey, one of the main characters of Mickey's PhilharMagic, belongs in Hollywood Studios because of their nighttime spectacular Fantasmic. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Have I made a lot of friends doing this vlogging hobby that I enjoy? Yeah. I'd say that I have. You know, whether it was people who also create content for YouTube, or really anybody who's hit the subscribe button or hit me up on Twitter or Instagram or what have you. Yes, I would say that I have. Last question I'm going to take for today is, do I collaborate with other YouTubers, content creators, yada yada, blah blah blah? I do. I would happily say that I do. I have a lot of my friends that also create content, and I have a few of my friends that I actually got into creating content. That said, I have become, when I first started my channel, it was a lot of like, how many YouTubers can I put my camera in front of? And I've become less of that, because I found that my voice wasn't the one really being heard. It was more of, look at all the friends I have, and it's just, it was cheesy. So, you know, even though I do run into other YouTubers, unless in the case that they want to be on camera, I normally am not putting the camera on. You know, Rise of the Resistance, I probably met 40 different people that I easily could have gotten into the vlog, but I didn't. You know, I'm trying to make it more my channel now, and I'm trying to put my voice out there because I think that that's important. That said, if anybody does want to film a video with me, then by all means, I am more than welcome to. The sun is now beginning to set on the Magic Kingdom. My time is coming to an end. I've answered quite a lot of questions today. If at any time during this video you may have thought of a question that you wanted to ask me, do not hesitate to leave it in the comment section below, and I will be more than happy to answer it there. While you're down there, subscribe for weekly adventures. Bring that little bell icon for notifications on every single episode. You guys have a wonderful evening. The Magic Kingdom parking lot is actually the second largest parking lot in the world. The first being in a random shopping mall in Canada. Super fun fact if you remember where the heck you parked. I, on the other hand, well, I'll see you next time, everybody.